And this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video 115F. Let me show you PHP examples with the associated big old complexity, like for searching a target value. And I want to do it for, I already showed you on the last video for a linked list. I think it was. What was it? Well, I want to show you all four of them in here because my wife again, she's into this stuff too. And she was saying that it would be nice if you could just put it all in one. Excuse me. Put it on one video. You don't have to go so complicated. Just put it on one video, and then in the description, put all the stuff that you talk about. So you don't have to be typing, taking too long. Just give the examples. Of course, I'll add a couple of comments on it. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's been what I've been trying to do. It's just that lately it was because, you know, I got sick a little bit again. I hurt my neck area. I'm still messed up. And then I pulled a muscle. Man, I couldn't walk for days. When I slipped on that, not for days, for what is it, 2 or 3 days? Yeah, when I slipped on the black ice. Oh, you know how you hold your muscle, everything starts to, you know, like you don't want to fall, and you jerk a little bit in no direction, and boom, hurt myself again. Ooh. What can I tell you? Anyway, so I apologize if I confuse people and stuff like that. So I'm going to put it all in one here. We're talking about the search because on the other one, maybe the one before last, we talked about the inputting, right? And I guess it was inbound, outbound. Ah, man, I can't forget. I can't remember. But instead, you know, I think it was 115D, and then 115E was the actual search. Remember I showed you you could search anything. I'm doing it very simple, but let's say if you opened up a database and stuff like that, you have to do it. Remember how we search database? I showed you that before. Then you put that example into some kind of big old type of algorithm, and then you can kind of check if it belongs to ON or 1, you know, that kind of stuff. So what I did was I proceeded to create a file. This is what we're talking about, the all four data structure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start writing here. I mean, I know that I could have just had it all written, but I didn't think it was that big for me not to write this stuff out. So let's talk about the linked list. It's like a sequence of nodes, and where each node points to the next one. Remember we talked about that. Now you start at the head, the first node, and you traverse the list sequentially, checking the value of each node until 50 is found. Remember, because we used the number 50. Remember the target, and it's found. Or you can reach the end like a null, like the null pointer. Remember we did, what was it? I think we did something like this. Like this, because we made target 50 and then we went through the process so we could search what that 50 is. You know, checking out arrays and those kind of things. So that's how we did it, right? So the search time complexity is O1. What is it? ON, I should say, right? And it's similar to an array. The linked list, let me write this down so that way you have it. I'm going to add more stuff like I always mention. I'll put it in the description. It'll be a text file. Just write it, read it, you know, have it with just. So, but over here, I'll just put here. How about we echo this stuff out? We'll say echo, and then we'll say linked, This is not gonna be a very long video, but it'll be maybe if I don't, if I stay with my thoughts in place instead of me going around all over the place. Let me see. I mean, I'm gonna put space here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I kind of just left it blank. I mean, you know, by itself. And then we'll do this. In this situation, I want to say, I want to jump to 2 lines. Not only that, I just found out that my chair has messed up my back so bad because my chair is a little kind of slanted a little bit, weak on one side. I'm kind of sitting all, I don't know. Okay, and so searching requires iterating through every element. Remember that? That will be your, in the worst scenario, in the worst case, making it a linear time. So the conceptual steps that I'm trying to is that the current, we're going to talk about here, when I set the current to the head, while the current is not null, putting this, it was pronounced that way, null. And if the current value equals to 15, then it returns true. If it doesn't find anything, you get that null, okay? And so when you set the current node to the current node itself on the next, like the next one, then you'll be able to go through it. That's how they do it, right? Back and forth. And then if the loop finishes and returns not found, then of course you get that node. So it will be an O(n) time complexity. So you must check each element, right, with for the worst case, because they say that when you start doing these things like the for loops and all those things, try to figure out what would be the worst thing that could happen with, you know, and then go the opposite way. So how about if I just do the let's just play with it for a bit right here. Let's do this. Let's do an array, right? Remember the array? We'll say 50 because we're looking for moment, because other examples we're doing 50. And here's your 20. Oh man. On top of that, man, my wife kept turning off my heater, man. I'm like, remember how we did this 50 and the other ones? We're going to use this same type of example on all the other ones, okay? So we're going to say the target will be, and then I will say just the found, like if it found it, just say false, like this. And I'm going to put here like the O, and like this time complexity, and then of course I'll do like must, you know, you must check each element, right? You want to check each element, and that's what you do when you use, and check it in the worst. You always check the worst, like it's always check for the worst. How about that? I guess that would be the thing. The worst case. Okay, and then we just so now we want to loop through it. We're going to use the for each, because you can use the for loop, but I like the for each because it's, I think, for me, because you're talking about, especially when you're playing around with the pair, you know, the key value pairs. All right, phone, take it easy. And then you go each, and data as $value. I'm just saying that we're just doing a placeholder, and we're going to use this instead. We don't check for this, we'll check. So you're going to check for this, which is this, as value. We're going to just say value. This is how you check it. You're going to use the value, that variable. And maybe I should put this so we don't get lost like that. I know I like doing it that way. And then we're going to use the if, right? Because we want to do compare. So we're gonna say dollar value like this, and you're gonna say we're gonna be strict, right? We're gonna be strict. So use the 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're gonna say target if it's equal to 50. Basically, what we're saying. And let's put a little space here, like this, and then we're gonna jump, boom, like that. And then we're gonna say if dollar found equals, what's I'm trying to say here, equals to true, right? Because that would be a true thing. Then we could just break out of here. Remember the break? When you could break out of those switches, you could use that word break to get out of if and for loops too. Because a switch is kind of like it's a loop, sort of like a loop. And then we say break because you want to get out. The moment you see it, just get out. Don't bother checking the other ones. Now this one would be like this. Oh my god! Let me move this phone. This is driving me crazy. Oh my god! All right, we're gonna do this. All right, we're gonna keep that. Hopefully, I spelled this whole thing right. All right, so, and then I'm going to echo it out, right? Because you want to see what, what's the point of doing this if you're not echoing out something. So let's say we can echo this out, and then we're going to say linked list search. That was it. Oh, not only that, my hand hurts because I was doing the hang. And I must have moved it. I don't know. I'm a total mess. And then we're going to go like this, right? And then we're going to say concatenate some this. Then we're going to say found. Remember how we worked this out? These found, and then you're going to say whatever pops in found, then you get either found or not found. So if found gets what is it? False. What did I put here? Yeah. Then it'll be not found, but if you something in there that's going to tell you found. So let's see, how do we do that? Make sure you put that question mark, then it will be found. You can write whatever you want. Let's keep it simple. Then not found, because I did a couple of group. I want to revisit when you add stuff in the form and you submit it to a PHP program, and you want to check each form and want to make sure you sanitize and all those things. I kind of did another one, and it's much better. Just a simple thing, just to use just the form in that, and that's it. So you can, and then from there you can build on it. But that's what I'm gonna do in one of those videos. And then I'm gonna do, there was a nice website that I did. It was nice, but I can't give you everything in HTML, but I'll have it all ready for you. So all you have to do is just take it and play around with it, and it does some nice things. Let's see, so we got here, I'm gonna give you that, but right now I'm just giving you little things like this because it's gonna come up one day. Okay, maybe that will do it. How about if we put like this, so we can start separating them? I mean, I can just erase everything and just keep going. How about if we save it now? Hopefully it'll work. Let me see. Maybe I spelled it wrong here. Yeah. Let's do this. Alright, let's see. I have nothing here. Look, that's what we ran. Let's move this down a little bit. I'm actually calling it from, hopefully it'll work. Yes, look, it found. Because I said that I'm 50. If I did, like, see where it says 50? It found the 50. So if you kind of go like this and say 80, let's say. I did so it's not found, see? Because when you started searching for the worst situation. And right now it's just a simple thing. It found that that's it. That will be a win. Because this can be 100,000, like now numbers go all the way down here. It'll be all in. Second, what is it? What was I doing here? 50. Now let's save this one. Hold on a second, make sure this works. How about we put here what you would call it? We'll do. I wonder if this will work here, to tell you the truth. Let's see. It should. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't like this. Let me just put a whole bunch of. We'll do this. This is just so we can keep it, so you can separate it. Here you can separate it for programming, but I just want to show something here. Separation. That's all. It's no biggie. You don't have to do this. Okay. That's kind of strange. It surely is. There you go. You notice how I hit that thing before? It took the the ruler. But because my computer's slow or the network is slow, I couldn't get it right away. Thinking to myself, it's a problem. So let me just change it like this and look. So you saw it had the ruler. Then now this guy. All right. So let's go down a little bit here. We'll keep all this, okay? We'll keep all this. I'm gonna have it all. So what I want to do is talk about the queue search. I know we haven't really gotten into it heavily. What did I say here? We'll echo it. How about that? We'll say echo, and then we'll say queue, because I'm gonna have a separate one, but not for just the search, for the whole. And then I'm gonna say let's put a space here. Oh man. Tell my wife that I like gizzards, with soup we put in gizzards, and sometimes she does it. It's like, oh, come on, girl. Anyway, so a queue is like a first in and first out. So it's, I'm going to have all this stuff anyway, but I guess I could kind of, let's see, let's put it over here. First in, first out, like that. And it's like so while its primary purpose is managing the order, that you can still search the elements that it contains, right? So to search a queue without disrupting its order, you gotta iterate through all its elements one by one. Yes, a lot of it is similar to these other ones too, but this is how this one works. So it's similar to the linked list and the array, right? So, and if you were allowed like to temporary what is that? They call it the queue elements. Oh my God! You have to check each one as it comes off the front end, but for a standard find operation, you can peek to it. Remember that word peek? You can see it or iterate through it. Like you can kind of look at it, say peek, and don't do nothing about it because it doesn't take anything, or just search for it when it pulls it into a variable. So the complexity is always going to be O1. That's why I kind of put it over here. All right, and the conceptual steps, like the non-destructive search, it's like you gotta determine the size of the queue, and then of course that's a little difficult. That's why I wanted to do a separate one. But I'm gonna have all four of them right here, just like what it says here. See, all four, okay. And I just wanted to have all of them just to get you going, and you say, oh, you know, I can keep going with this. I want to learn more. You know, you can even skip some videos if you don't really want to learn about it. But at least I'm giving it to you now. I'm trying to follow like what other people do when they do the videos and stuff. I'm old school, to tell the truth. Don't have charts and stuff like that, like a lot of it. But I'm going to learn how to use certain editors. I talked about this so I can improve on my videos, because I want to explain some other things for PHP, but I want to move on to the WordPress part of it now, and how to use WordPress, and how to do how to create stuff from scratch in WordPress. It's PHP, remember, but they also have their separate lingo. Yeah. So we have to determine the size of the queue. Then we have to iterate to the size, right? Number of times. Then we have to dequeue the front element, store it as a temporary, right? And then if the temp equals to, like, remember, because we're using 50, it returns found. And then you enqueue the temporary value back into the queue. It kind of reminds me of how I did the bubble sort one time, how you take one down, you move this one over to another area in memory, and then you do a comparison between those two elements, and then if one of them is bigger than the other one, then you take, especially if it's in front of it, you move that one out to the other side, then you take the one that you store. You remember that, I showed you that already. So when you enqueue back into the queue, it restores the original order, right? So if the loop finishes, it returns like not found. That is if it doesn't find it. And to find an item without losing the queue's order, you must check like every item. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it works. So we're using PHP. We're going to be using a PHP class in this scenario. And I think I showed you another two. And it's called, let me see. Maybe I should put it over here. We're going to use SPLQ, like this. I think I'm spelling that right. Yeah, I'll check it later and I'll make sure. Q, yeah, that's it. That's the way. Then you're going to say that's a class. And I'm going to say that it provides, how do I write it down here? The main functionality. Functionalities of a queue. Okay. And it implements these things called like the double linked list by setting the iterator mode into, it's something called, I can't remember right now, SPL. So, and you know something, I'll look it up and then I'll put it down in the description below when I hook up this whole thing into a text file. You know I'm gonna add more stuff to it so that way you can understand what I'm talking about. So I don't feel like, you know, I'm explaining it. There don't be a lot of typing. I just want to do the actual examples. So if you go like this, queue, let me get a sip, please. Excuse me. I hope you guys had coffee. Then we're gonna say SPL Q like this. Remember how you created a class, and then when you call that class to create an object, this is how you do it. Remember the word new, and then within the queue, because you already created it, right? you're going to use the methods that's provided, like call NQ, because you didn't create it. This came from the SPLQ. So we'll go like this, and Q. How about we do another one? Well, let's put a space here, and then we'll let's see. Go. Oh my God, I'm gonna take a walk too, man. I want to take it out. No, it's cold because this is the East Coast where I'm at right now. It is cold. Okay, so yeah, but when it comes to, want to mention any religion or holiday, but in my parts, Christmas, it looks so beautiful with the lights. And it did snow a lot the other day, which is why we had that black ice and I slipped. It looks pretty, but I can't wait to go. It's too much stress, man. My little grandson called me yesterday, so it was kind of nice. I like to hear from him. He's so smart. He's so smart. He's a lot like me. Scary. Oh, yeah. And then you go like this, Then, of course, should we do one more? Yeah, so we can, like this, we'll throw in a 20. How about that? We're going to check 80. For now, we're going to do like 50, and then we'll check 80 so we can get the wrong target. So we'll say target, bitty bob. And then I usually don't get any presents for these holidays, but my son told me yesterday he was sending something special. I wonder what it is. Maybe another computer, because my computer's messed up. Who knows? He's a director in Hollywood. He's a the creative director. Let's see, you got your 50. We're gonna make this one a. What was the last one? False, right? Let me see. All right, here. See, we're gonna do this. We're gonna keep doing this to all of them. We're gonna be using this, but we're not doing this. That's for LinkedList, right? We're gonna be using this stuff here to do it. As you can see this? Check it out. What is it? 10, 50, 30, 20. 10, 50, 30, 20. Like that. Did I spell this wrong? Sure did, Holmes. There you go. And then what I want to do is I want to say the initial size will be query. Believe it or not, I actually like this one too, man. It's pretty cool though. Yeah, you get a count. It's gonna go in here. So I go B 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we say what we want to say. Let me just let me see again. Just to keep it going. Complexity. And then we'll say must. I should have just copied that thing over there. Then I just changed some few words. That's one thing about programmers, man. We don't like to retype stuff. Now we're gonna for loop it. Remember we told you we could do the for loop. Since we're not using array, this is I'm gonna for loop this thing. So we're gonna say for. I hope I spelled this right. Dollar. We're gonna say I always use I. For 0, then you go like this, and then you're gonna say $I. Let me put a space there, equal to dollar. I'm gonna misspell these things. Why don't we just cut it like that, and then you go like this, and then of course you wanna add. then you do the plus plus plus. Remember that one? Okay, so then you go like this. And let's put that over here. Then we'll say dollar value equals to dollar Q, like this, and then we say DQ. Don't worry, I'm gonna have the, so what is it? The DQ thing is just getting, it's just the opposite of EQing. But I'll make sure I put it down. Let's see. So then we want to check, right? Because that's what we did on the other one. We want to check. Did I put it? Maybe I should just cut and paste this stuff. I don't know. What the heck? Just do it like this. We're gonna say value strict mode. Remember that? Dollar target. Let's just move this in here. Oh, wait a minute. I want to make sure. We'll do this like that. Like that. And then this one will be for value. Oops. It will be for like this. You don't have to do what I'm doing. It's just a way of me, because I get lost, man. I'm serious. It's like, whoa. And then right here, we're going to put in, let's say that the value was found, right? Because that's what you're saying. If it equals to, then I want you to make form, what is that? Dollar found to a true boolean. Okay, let me see. This belongs to that. What happened here? Why is this? Oh, that's just, something we don't. Let's take this out. So I hate the way that looks. All right, so we'll go like this, and then we're gonna say, well, dollar Q is included, which is dollar value. Oh boy. I don't need to get sick, man. I don't need to get sick. Yeah, I want to go take my walk, So we're going to say echo, and we're going to say the same thing, Q, search. It is a O, I'm going to put a space there. It's an ON. And I'll explain what that whole thing is in the next video. Break it down again. I was going to put it in all of them, on all the 115 ones. But I'll do it again, because I think I did a poor job on the other one. What is it? Did I do this one? Then we go like this, and we're going to say found. Let's just copy this. That, and what we did, the found again, so found and not found, and jump over. And how about if let's try this again. We're gonna do this, echo HR, see if it'll jump. Maybe it's, I don't know, it's just so strange. This is just for us. Let's move this over like that. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully this will work. Because you're calling this guy, and that's the queuing this together. That's like having this happen like that. But differently, because it sits in other parts of the memory. Let's do this. That shouldn't take it that long. Yep, it worked. No, it did not work. Yes, it did. Look, I just got the little line there. Why is it jumped down? That's the most change. Okay, this one was from. Why did I put? Oh, that's just the name that I put in there. You know, I should have did that too. How about if I'm? Where is it? This is strange. When you echo, when you return, is a different story. It always makes it right. How about if we do? That will be that one. But I put two of them here. What is it? Let me see. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. What the hell is it? That will be. Okay, why don't we just do this? What is it? I don't think this. You know, do this to give you the message, right? And then, no, you don't have to do any of this. You can do it the way you want it. And then we'll go, let me see, we jump in, boom, boom, boom. We do this, we do that. And then we're doing it. There you go. That's just what the word is. This is, you found it, right? But if it didn't find it, let's say, remember, we're going to do it again. We're going to use 80. That's what I'll be using. 50 for the find and 80 for to make it say that not found. See? Not found. That's cool. It's cool. Oh, let's move this. Because it's not in there. If I would have put 80 here, I would have found it. Alright, that's good. That's good. So far, so good. So what we could do is, I'm going to copy this whole thing. Oh boy. And I'm going to put it over here. And then I'm going to put this. What should we do? Let's go back to the tree. On the last video, just to keep it uniform, we're going to do the tree part, right? So we're going to say tree, like that. Tree search. Oh man. Listen. So if you do like an average of, like an average check, it will be RN like that. And if you do the worst scenario, it will be, what if I do this? Let's say like that. And we'll go like this. Double checking like that. Worst scenario. Okay. So then what we want to do is remember the tree is like a hierarchical of a structure. Excuse me. The most common tree for searching is like the binary tree search tree. Remember I showed you what that is? That would be, I guess I could kind of do this. Let's see. Let me take this out. I'll do BST like that. And what happens is, so the most common tree for searching is that, right? So, which organizes the data to allow for efficient searching. Remember on the video before this one that we're doing, this one here, it had, you saw the search, it was pretty simple, but I'll do it again, I'll show it to you right here. So what happened was it starts at the root, right? So if the target is 50 and is less than the current node's value, so it moves to the left child. And then if it's greater, then it moves to the right child, because it repeats until the 50 is found, or a node, a node. Once it does it, if it finds that, of course, it'll give you the, what is it? It'll give you, where is it? It will give you this one, all right? So, just undo that. So the search time complexity is like O log n on an average, like for a balanced BST, balanced binary search tree, and the search cuts the remaining data in half at each step. That's when it uses that log thing that you see there. That's the logarithmic times. Like when you do, when you say, what an example can I give you? 2 times 2 is, what is it? 4, right? But instead of doing the 2 times 2, you do the 2 and the 4. Dividing the 4, right? And that will give you the 2. So that's what that is. So in the balance, the search cuts the remaining data in half, and so now the conceptual steps of this thing is that it sets the current node right to the root, and then again it's just like the same thing as the other one. While the current root is not null, which is if it equals to 50, then of course it returns the what is that, found, and if it's not, of course it returns not found. So if the tree is completely unbalanced, like a linked list, it degrades to linear time, and that's why you got that, ON. Especially when you have to search for like a lot. So what was the last one that we did? So what we did a class, right? We did node, and then we say, this public. What was it? Let me see. I don't feel like calculating this stuff. I think it was this one. Was it this one? Yeah. This is basically what I want. So we'll take this whole thing. What the hell is out there? Who's doing this? Strange. I've been listening. Sometimes I listen to some strange stuff over here, man. I'm gonna let me check this out just in case I messed up. So what happens is, remember that the class has this, the class stops here. Then we run the function. This is not part of the class function, so it's a regular function. If it's sitting in here in between, that becomes it's called method, but it's a function, but it's called method within that. And what happens is it calls this guy, does the root, right, checks the value, and if it's less than that, then it turns, remember how it moves it to left or right, just like I explained to you? This is what this does. This is what it's just doing. So when you do the null, right, you create an object, you're going to say left, that's going to be the new one, and if you're going to say right, that will be the new one. And if you change it to, I'm going to do something here, but let me see. I think I'll do this just so I can separate those things. Let's see. I'll probably die. I don't know. Nope, there it goes. We found it. Same idea, because remember it's a tree. Each one has the tree, has a value, plus it has the pointer that points to the next one, right? So left or right, that's why you have to do these weird looking things here, and that becomes an ON as an average. And of course, you always have to check for the worst scenario. This is how they do it. I mean, it's weird, because when you do like the bubble, not a bubble soup, because I like to do a razor when I do that. but you can use the cert for this type of thing. But it's just strange because remember, when you're doing this, when you're doing an array or like they're all lined up together, an array, right, in the memory. But when you do these things like tree, they could be anywhere. That's why you have a pointer that points to that particular memory part with that value that's in it. Man, I'm sorry. I apologize for my noise. And there you have it, man. How about we go for that last one? Let me see. Did it work? And how about we change it to? We'll try 80. And there you go. Not found. Different scenarios on how to do different search. The best one I think would be this one right here. This is the best one. It's faster. And okay, so let's do the stack. I think we talked about the stack before. First in, last in, like a plate. Remember when you stack up plates, last in and first out? It would be something like, how about we do this? It will be stack. Well, that reminds me of stack pancakes. Then this would be something like O and then there will be a breakdown, right? So the stack is like I'm gonna put it here. How about we do this here? L I F O, like that. See, the thing is that the stack is what is it? Last in for first in, like a queue, right? It's like the queue. Its primary purpose is like for searching, but you can iterate through the elements, doing it like this one right here. I'm doing it like this one right here. It's like a queue. Same idea. Because it's like a plate, you know. A stack of plates. So to search into in a stack, you must pop. Remember that we used the pop, we used the push. Remember that one? And that element off the top of one by one, checking each element, right? And then you use the peek. All you're doing is just peeking into it, not really pulling it out. So this destroys the original structure when you've been doing that. And so making it a poor choice for searching, unless you intend to empty it out and restore it afterwards. So the complexity, of course, will be O1, right? And then the conceptual steps is the destructive search, really. Because while the stack is not empty, like when you pop the top element and store it as a temporary, the temporary could equal to 50 and it returns a found, and if it's not, then it returns you that are not found. So if the elements is popped before the 50, now like it's now lost and or removed, then the loop will finish right away and returns you to not found. So to guarantee that finding that item, then you must check elements from the top down all the way to the bottom. And in reality, we see it that way, but when you physically, you'll see it like a regular array, it stacks underneath behind it. Let me see. Let's go right here, and it keeps adding to it. But in conceptual, it looks like a stack, right? That's why it's called stack. But in physical, it looks like this. But conceptual, it's a stack. So when you do pull out, when you pull, pop, and push, it goes to the top part. That's how it looks at it. Oh boy, I think my all right, let's see. So we're gonna use this the SP. How about we do this? The SPL stack like that. That's like a class, right? Like I said, this provides the main functionality of a stack. Implement the implemented, am I spelling that? Implemented, let me see, using a doubly, I don't know, using a, what is it? Double, what am I trying to say? LinkedList. All right, how about we just that, and then we're gonna say, what are we looking at here? Okay, so we're gonna say stack, right? Dollar stack like this. That will be new because we're using, oops, PHP. You know, PHP has a lot of stuff. You can write a lot of function on your own, but if PHP provides it, use it because it will be faster. Then you remember how we used to push? So we'll do what? 10, this. How about we do this? Then we'll go here. And what did I use? How many did I use? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll make this one, what is it? Again, that's a 50, that's how I have it, right? What's the other one? 30 and 20. Okay. So we say 30, and then you got 20. How about we'll keep it together? And then what we're going to do is we're going to target. Remember the target? So we're going to go back to that. This one and this one. We'll push it over here. Right, because that's what we're going to be using. So the old complexity again, right? You have to you always have to check. You always have to check for the worst scenario. That's basically it. You have to check for the worst scenario. So we're going to do, since we're using this push, it's like an array, basically. We're going to use the for each. So we'll do the for each. I'm going to put a space there. I'm going to say stack. Why I keep doing that? It's like an automatic as dollar value. Remember we used that before. And then we'll do this. And we'll do right, and then let me see, what is it we want to do here? We want to do the if statement. Remember the if not, where is it? Maybe I can just use what I use. Where are you? Yeah, this one right here. Let's use this one. Singing the song. Oh yeah, why not? We'll do this. There you go. When you do that, that will be good. That will be good. How about we do the O's? Equal. There you go. Stack. Stack search. That will be your, of course, O, and I'm going to show you the map on the, you know, because I'm going to do it in this one because I have to go somewhere. I'm going to do the, maybe if I have room, time. Let's see. And we'll say this will be the same as this. Where is it? Like that. And we'll say found or no found. Yeah, why not? Let's just move this down a little bit so we can read it. Hopefully it'll work. Let's see. Boom. See? Found. Again. Wait a minute. Something is missing here. supposed to did H move it, tree, a stack. Where's the tree at? How about we do okay, so I just wanted to separate these from this one. You don't have to put those stupid things. You do it the way you want to do it. Okay? Look, let's move this down. Let's do like that. Come on. Let's move it down. There you go. So again, if you want to make this into an 80, there you go. Did I save this? Well, it's not working. There it goes. Not found. See what I mean? I don't know, man. It's a pain in the ass, I swear, you know? Found. That would be good. Not the hash. The one I was talking about, the hash. Maybe I should do it. I don't know, man. Do I have the... I mean, I could. How about if we do... let's do this. Ooh, I'm going to do this. Let's put it down here, look. And I'm going to put here... What would be the hash bag? We could do the, this is the best one because the hash, believe it or not, is associated array. Let's say hash, this would be, let's get rid of all this. Because I know for a fact it's an old one, it's the best one. So we say hash map. Hash, oops, hash map like that. Because the hash map is the same thing as an array, really, it's an associated array. Because the data, it has the key and the value pairs, right? Using a hash function, it quickly maps the key to an index real fast, like a bucket, just like the array. Same idea. I don't know they call it that and that, but I don't know. It's okay. Where the value is stored. So to find, now let me take a sip of this coffee before I go. I'm going to give it to you anyway. What I do is on the description, everything I'm saying right now, I'll put it in, okay? I'm actually recording because I record my stuff on the regular recorder when I started the video. So what I do is I go back to that recorder and everything I said, I have my sister, which happens to be my wife, she'll type it out for me. So again, it's like a bucket, right? So to find the value of 50, again, you will ideally look it up, right, as a key. And if you only have that value and want to find its existence, then you have to iterate all through the keys. And I mean, it's the same idea, right? That's the same idea. However, if your data is like set up where the key is like the item itself, like the key 50, the value is true, you can calculate the hash for like every 50 for the key 50, you know, like the 50, and directly access that corresponding bucket, right? So this is the most efficient way of search. So the conceptual, I guess, steps would be that the key-based search is so much better. Assuming that the 50 is in the key, that's part of the. So use the hash map. Remember how we? I'm gonna get you confused. So use the hash maps internal function to calculate the hash code for the key 50, and use the hash code like to determine the bucket memory location. So you look into that bucket, right? If the key is 50 and it's present, then it returns the word found. Remember, this is everything we're doing now is like the most simplest way. Once you find something, you don't have to say, "Oh, hey, I found it." No, you can do a whole bunch of stuff, and you get the message anyway. If not, then of course not found, right? So the search time complexity of the hatchback is usually zero. I mean, not zero or one. That's an average, making it like the fastest option here. It really is. And that's why I use a lot of the arrays. I do. And assuming that the item is used, right, as the key, then the hash map can find it, right, like a constant time by calculating the hash and going through directly to the memory location. And the worst case occurred during a hash collision. For some reason, you could get a hash to it. It's not a good idea. But still, using that value as the key, it becomes an O1. So how about if we just do an example real quick here? So we'll say $hash, and I will put down all this stuff. And we'll just say, remember that? We're going to break it down like this, because, I'm going to add it over here. That way don't confuse you. So we're going to say 10, right? And that will, oops, sorry. Got to do the rocket ship. And that will be true. Then we'll do, what was the other one? 50, right? 50. And that would be, let's put it together. Might as well. Let's do it like this. That would be true, right? What I wanted to say here, that's if the key exists, right? If the key exists, it'll use that. So let's go down. Then we're going to use, what is that? 30, the one that will be true. And then you could use, what was the last one? 10. I mean 20. That would be true, right? Like this. And then we go over here, and then we're going to say, should we put a space here? That's okay. Let's do this. Don't forget the semicolon. This is not JavaScript, but JavaScript puts it in for you. Okay, so now we're going to say that the target, remember, target equals to 50. Oops. And of course, you don't have to do the false thing anyway, because it's going to, oh yeah, you do really. You have to say false like that. And because we want to check the, this command, what is it? Key exists. That means that, you remember how you got a form, you hit a submit, it did exist. Once the moment you hit that, or some kind of key, or some kind of is inside the actual form, and you submit it, it'll look at, oh, is that key? Yes, it is there. So we're doing it different. We're gonna do that. This is how it's done with this one. Target, that will be what? 50, right? And then the hash will be $, the array. Remember that? It's like, can you find the array, this particular thing here, array? Let me write it down over here so that way you can see it better. That would be hash map like that, right? Let's do this. Let's move this down. So by looking at that, you're saying, hey, is this key around? See, these are the keys right here. So it says this key within, where the hell is it? Well, it's the same thing. If this key is within this hash, do you see 50 target? This key right here, the target, is it inside here? That's what it's saying. And if it is, look, it says, oh yeah, it is. It is there. So then you say, you could do the if and all that if you want to, but you get the message, right? So you'd be like hash, let's say map, search, O N. That will be a good app. Oops, daisy. That looks ugly. Let's do this. That will be like the average, I would say, but it's still fast. It's a fast thing. It's not the average. It's the most fastest, but I'm gonna. Let's leave it at that. We'll just say like this. Do I have? Wait a minute. So I'm missing a. Okay, this. This. And then I could say this, just like the other ones, and then find this guy, like this. Put a little space there, like that. See? Hopefully it'll work. Oops, a daisy. What happened here? Excuse me. And then, did I put all these little things? Let me see. This one was the one for lap. So why don't we put the second HR like that? And let's just add this one. This. Boom. Let's put a little space here. You can do whatever you want, but this is just me. Sing the song. I wrote a song, by the way, guys. I'm not a songwriter. I just wrote a song. Hopefully I can make it into a classic rock. Alright, I'm missing something, man. What am I missing? Singing this song and like so found. Huh. You got this one. Somehow it's not. Are you? What's my answer here? Why is it not? It's not confounded. Oh. I'm like saying to myself, why is this the most simplest thing? Why is it? Listen, this is hash map, right? Equals choo. And then you say the target is 50. And you want to check this with that, and then it will say found. Oh, not found. Oh, dude, now we're gonna have to do this. Target. Wait a minute. I think I misspelled something. This right here. What is this? There you go. Man, had me there, man. Twice. This was actually the problem. If I would have misspelled it, let's see if we misspelled this. There you go. I don't know how slow this machine is, but you saw what happened, right? See, it couldn't find it, so it would have been twice. I would have been like, oh, look. But there you go. Let's see. There you go. And if you put 80, right? Let's put 80. Let's do this. This is a one. I like this one. This video that I just created was pretty good. I like that. It's a good thing that. There you go. You saw how I typed it twice. Oh boy. What the hell? That's what happens when you share networks. Sucks. VPN's the best, really. Secure. Keeps everything secure, and of course, what all this stuff I'm gonna let you have, and of course there's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff in between it, just so you can have it, right? And then that's it. Well, this is the end. We reached the end, and hey, please, if you thought you found something good, you got to understand this. Oh yeah, I understand now. Now that I'm looking at this, yeah, just give me a thumbs up, please. That really helps me out. And if you want to subscribe to me too, man. And 2 comments. Just give me anything you want, man. You know what I mean? Don't call me a dummy, whatever you want, man. Just give me a comment, man. Just that will help me out. Anyway, go at the bottom and listen, just in case. A good night, happy holiday, Merry Christmas. Have fun. Don't drink and drive, my friends. Don't drink and drive. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.